The Man Who Knew Infinity, A Life of Genius Ramanujan, written by Robert Kagel. If someone asks me today which is my favorite book, this book, The Man Who Knew Infinity, is definitely one of them. The book has left an indelible mark, an impression in my mind, a feeling that I cannot describe. I am no mathematic geek, neither am I a science aficionado. Yet, the book has casted a huge impression in my mind. Some lessons that I've learned while reading this book. Nature has a huge role in molding minds. Ramanujan lived near the Kaveri in the coconut-laden temple town of Kumbakonam. His mother, Komala Tamal, sang devotional songs in the temple. The benevolent Kaveri, the swaying coconut trees, and the song of bells and hymns at the temple created an environment of positive, energetic frequency for Ramanujan's mind. Another lesson that I've learned while reading this book is that university degree or the college name does not matter. Your passion to excel and do exceedingly well does matter. Ramanujan was so obsessed and passionate about discovering the hidden formulas of mathematics that he could not complete his graduation. The key word is passion to excel. Institutions only add badges when not synchronized with passion. Coming to the story, Ramanujan was born in Erode in 1887 and lived in Kumbakonam, an ancient capital of the Chola Empire. The Cholas had reached their zenith around 1000 AD when Europe followed. Kumbakonam was more cosmopolitan than its surroundings, was a center for the work of eye, hand and brain, which needs a degree of leisure to pursue. The crafts were especially strong. One speciality was fine metalwork. Komal Tamal, Ramanujan's mother, whom Ramanujan resembled physically, was in words of one account a shrewd and cultured lady, and her primary objective all the years he was growing up was her son, Chinna Swami. While a pupil at Kangayan Primary School, Ramanujan studied English from an early age, and in November 1897, just shy of 10, he passed his primary examination in English, Tamil, arithmetic and geography, scoring first in the district. The following January, he enrolled in the English Language High School, Town Hall. Headmaster during Ramanujan's time and for 27 years in all was S. Sri Krishnaswamy Iyer, a severe-faced man partial to impromptu strolls between classes. Ramanujan was 13. He had mastered S.L. Loney's trigonometry, which actually ranged into more advanced realms. Classmates 2 years ahead would hand him problems they thought difficult, only to watch him solve them at a glance. At Town Hall, the senior maths teacher Ganapati Subbiyer was regularly shackled with a maddening job, and he would give it to Ramanujan to handle classes. Ramanujan became something of a minor celebrity. Finally, at a ceremony in 1904, when Ramanujan was being awarded the K. Ranganatha Rao Prize for Mathematics, Headmaster Krishnaswamy Iyer introduced him to the audience as a student who, were it possible, deserved higher than the maximum possible marks. Then came the Book of Car. College students staying with Ramanujan's family showed him this book, a synopsis of elementary results in pure and applied mathematics. The synopsis was a product of the genius of George Shoebridge Carr. In 1904, soon after discovering Carr, Ramanujan graduated from high school and entered Kumbakonam's government college, with a scholarship awarded on the strength of his high school work. The college occupied the site of considerable natural beauty. The river streamed by, birds chirped, groves of trees afforded shelter from the hot sun. The place was lovely, idyllic, serene, and the scene of Ramanujan's first academic debacle. The Book of Car had ignited in Ramanujan a burst of single-minded intellectual activity. Now, ensnared by pure mathematics, he lost interest in everything else. He ignored physiology, English, Greek, and Roman history, failed in English composition. His scholarship was taken away. He endured the situation until he could endure it no longer. In early August 1905, Ramanujan, 17 years of age, ran away from home. To be continued.